you can really push that. Okay, so the white balance here is -5, and as I push it up, okay, my shutter adapts. Okay, we're still at f9, ISO 200. Get my focusing right. Okay. Now, if I manually, we could put the shutter up all the way, but then what's happening is it's putting the ISO up, so we don't want to do that. So I think F11, and I think we're good right here. So then we want to look at our exposure value and pull that maybe down and get a focus, or pull it up. See, that's too bright. That's overexposed, obviously. That's why it's called manual control. So if I open up the aperture even more, then you just really can't see much of anything. So that's f22. Not even at f22. And if I punch the film down to 100, here we are. And it's 1/3 second exposure. I don't know why it's picking that. Maybe it's this lock. No? Okay. Oh. Yeah, it's this. So it's at plus exposure. Still. Wow. Okay, because we're so yeah, that looks better. And that's EV -1, f7.1, 1/200th, 1.6K, and 100 film. 720p, 60 frames per second. And see, without, okay, I want to push the aperture up here now. Without, and I'm watching carefully now. Okay, f16. This is f16, ISO 100. And remember, EV is at -1. I can put it back up to neutral. And now we're at 200. 200 ISO. 1600 now all of a sudden. Because we got too close there. Now if you go to the sky, okay. Okay, zoom in, you get 560. It really wants to pump that up. So I'll back off on the aperture here. And I'm still at 1/100th. I don't know why it's sticking to that. I never specified that really. Unless I did without realizing it. Maybe I did. There's a lock and hold feature over there, so it could have been that. Okay. Now here we have a problem. So just crank that all the way shut. Still, we got a problem here. And try to override this. No, it's just not going to hold. The only way is to do it with an exposure value. Pulling that back, and then, okay, the lock must be on. Let's try it. There we go. Now it's at 1. See that? That's interesting. Yeah, anyway, see. Alright, so now if I could do that, push the EV up, drop the F down to something reasonable like 14. We still have that darkness. but we're at 1/640th time, and okay, the exposure is, the ISO is just at 100, which I don't think we can do. Let's do it 4. Okay, I don't want to go to 8, but let's try. Still no difference. I'm gonna try to unlock. No. Okay. And this is our picture now here. So we're at 1/1/4000th. I'm gonna have to open up the aperture, and I'm sure it has to do with this lock. Okay, now the only thing left is, okay, we're at a -3.7 exposure. Now it's at minus. Okay, we'll just put this back to 0. But I kind of like it lower. Here's a shutter speed, and this thing is really nice. Okay, I like it dark like that. Zoom in close. And pretty good, huh? Alright, that's it. That's how much more can you do here? Just figuring out how to use this thing, that's all. Okay, so if I were to literally just relinquish controls to it in the middle of this, I would, what would I do here? First I put this back to 0. Then I would put, put the exposure to 1/125, and I drop it to f6. Let's try that. There you go. See, it does have some automatic exposure built in. See, as I move here, you know, it doesn't leave it completely in the dark. And I'm not set to full manual, plus I'm at 800 on the camera film, so let's go with 200. But now we're at 1/500th, so we're gonna lose out on that. And when I turn this off, I'm gonna do it by flipping the mirror. So, alright, I don't know what that'll do. So, wow, this thing is changing fast. There's something in the menu here that I forgot. I can't think of what it was. Well, there's the lock. Something about the difference between holding it down and